All right. Let's see. Where did we leave off? I guess when we last hung out, we were listening to the same song, blasting aliens in front of the same discount warehouse convenience store next to this pawn shop. Welcome back to Rob's Arcade, guys. This is, if you've been hanging out, part 3 of this New Game Friday, where we are exploring one of my favorite titles. We haven't even been to Camera 1 yet, all that. But yeah, for this retro edition of New Game Friday, we're checking out Ground Zero Texas Nuclear Edition. It's one of my favorite games from back in the day. I used to play this all the time on Sega CD when I was about 13 years old, I guess. And I found out it was available. Actually, a friend of mine, it's an Instagram friend. Never met the guy. He lives in the UK. Was posting about some old games, which he, is what he does. And he posted about this game a while back, and I didn't notice it. It was another game caught my eye that he posted about, Double Switch, and I was like, oh man, yeah, I remember wanting to play that growing up. And he said it was available on the PlayStation 4, and I checked it out. Sure enough, it was in the library, and so was this. And oh gosh, I'm just gonna put this shield up real quick. I was a little slow and didn't think Double Switch would leave the PlayStation Store, but it did, so I missed that. But I did not miss an opportunity to get Ground Zero Texas. It's just like basically a movie that you control where you're just stuck here in Texas. Ground Zero, alien attack. And it's up to you and this crazy battle cam technology that got set up all over town. Which it would just seem to me if you were an alien, you just would attack the town where the camera is not mounted, because these things are mounted, I'm assuming. So just attack where the camera's not mounted and you guys should be okay. So like, let's run out here where this big giant tank camera's sitting. I always like this game, kind of like a Star Wars-y kind of feel. I wasn't really big into Star Wars at this time. It'd be like about another 5 years or so before I'd actually get into Star Wars. But I was into like a lot of different science fiction movies and shows. Star Trek: The Next Generation, things like that. Really anything science fiction-y I was really into growing up. So this was just cool because it was a way to actually feel like I was part of the action and part of the story, which was, I think, Digital Pictures. That was like their wheelhouse. Like I said, there was a boxing game you could play where you were basically like training as if you were Rocky. And it puts you right there in the ring in front of the punches. That was a really hard one. I can't remember exactly what that was called. I have to look that up. It was a really cool fact. I mentioned this in one of the videos. Like I said, this music is just absolutely killing me. Considering how cool some of the Sega CD music was for most of the games. Oh my gosh. In a lot of the... I'm trying to think of some of the other games, like Sonic CD, you could put it in your CD player and listen to it. I feel like maybe Soul Feast was another one where you would put it in, you could listen to the music from the game on your CD player, which is a cool feature. I mean, it's nothing to get excited about nowadays. But back in the day, you know, you could pop a Sega CD game into your CD player and listen to the soundtrack. It was pretty cool. It's pretty spectacular. But I remember if you put the digital pictures game disc in the CD player, you would get this really weird message. I think it was like if you put the second disc in, you get this really weird message, like the phone would ring to like their digital pictures headquarters, and then it would get like this really weird alien response. I'll have to look it up. Maybe it's on YouTube and I can play it real quick before this session of New Game Friday is over. Like I said, we're going to play this whole game out. That's typically something I don't do. I might give you guys a couple segments, maybe 2-3 segments of a game, which is more than I used to do. A lot of times I would just play a game for about 20 minutes, kind of show you guys what it looked like, and just kind of move on from there. But you can't really get a good idea of what a game is about. Sometimes it takes 20 minutes just to get through, like, the opening to a game. And I felt like you could never really get the full feel of a game in just 20 minutes. So I started making the New Game Fridays a little bit longer, and since this isn't a very long game, we kind of spend a couple hours and
Satcom transmission
knock it out. Like I said, we're already, I think, heading to the next act.
Incoming transmission. Priority Alpha.
And so now this part of the game, you don't get to choose anymore what where the action is. Well, I guess you really didn't get to choose so much. You had to go, whoa. See, like that's what I'm talking. That was some cool stuff, man. 13 years old, 1993. Come on, look at that. That's awesome. But yeah, I guess what I mean is, oh, now the music's even faster. They mixed the two. It's the drum roll and the pulse. That's probably more like what the game looked like. With that shield on. It's not just the shield, that's the old school Sega CD filter. God, those lights crack me up, man. I feel like it's the Power Rangers escaping. It's a little weird, like the hitbox on these guys. Sometimes I feel like I'm not even close. Sometimes I feel like I'm right on. Like I feel like he barely walked into that one. It was like such a... I'll put this back on. It was such a dramatic death. Did you see that? Like his arms, like flying. His arms like flailed back for like 10 minutes. And action. You've been shot. These had to be a lot of fun to work on, too. You know, a lot of games nowadays are made with real actors, but they do that little, like, dot thing, and you're typically, like, some kind of, like, gymnasium with, like, pads set up around the room. There's obstacles. You know, you're doing like acting and action sequences, but it must have been really fun to be a game designer and get to go out to these locations. Because I'm sure the guys in charge of making the game, as well as the people behind the actual cinematic aspects, I'm sure they were all there together checking all this out, giving each other notes and working together on this. And I just gotta imagine it'd be so cool. It's like, you know, a game designer, game programmer back in the day to get to work with something like this. Instead of, especially back then, because I mean, there really wasn't all of the, you know, like what I was talking about before, like some of these Star Wars games and like sports games, you know, that get the athletes and actors to come in and put the little dots on the face and have them running around, and they translate that action into the game. So it looks and feels like you're controlling that character. But again, back in 1993, there was nothing at all like that. You had Mortal Kombat that was using real actors in their games.
Incoming transmission. Priority Alpha.
The first Mortal Kombat, it's like, what, 2 or 3 different actors. Some actors playing more than one role in these games. Like, I think the guy who plays, you know, like Scorpion and Sub-Zero might have also played, like, Kano. Or maybe Johnny Cage. Put the shield up there. So yeah, again, back in the 90s, like, to be able to get out of the office from behind the computer where most all games were being made and get to hang out on a real set just must have been such a neat experience. And we have a lot of these today where you have, like, you know, movies that you can control, stories that you can control, games that allow you to kind of experience storytelling firsthand, which I think is a lot of fun. I think it's a cool way to get people to experience video games who aren't maybe necessarily into video games, because there's not a lot of action and stuff that they got to do. They can just kind of sit back and make choices, press yes for this, press no for that. Kind of decide where the story goes. Especially if like a big group over, you know, kind of like a bunch of friends over one night, kind of sit back and play one of these, you know, choose your own story movies. You can play and watch the same movie and again never quite get the same story twice. Which this game might seem, like I said, kind of repetitive. Like I said, it's basically just you're blasting these guys who jump out from behind these little obstacles, trying to get that shot off before they shoot you. Extremely monotonous music. That's why I had to give it like a 7.5 out of 8 bits. I mean, the gameplay's always been fun. It's not super challenging. The gameplay's always been really fun. Super entertaining. But even though, like I said, it is kind of monotonous and a lot like the music. It's a little monotonous. It was fun. Gosh, this one guy over here in the corner. It was fun playing every weekend. Because like I said, because of the cinematic sequences, could vary and change up depending on whether or not you hit your shot or not. Might just keep this guy up here in case he just pops up. Oh, he got bold with it. That was a strategy, too, I always used to use, I think, when I was a kid, just kind of keep the cursor moving around. And then a lot of times, like, I don't, like I said, this little shot counter on the side, I don't remember that being a thing growing up. It might have been one, but I remember, man, I just put the turbo on, and I would just laser the whole screen. Just kind of cheating. I suppose. Well, I guess it's not really cheating.
Incoming
Yep.
transmission. Priority
If your
Alpha.
gun has automatic, you know, instead of cheating for using it. I also feel like the last stage, like you needed turbo. Look at that, man. That is so freaking cool. Like that's, I mean, this was the budget. Like a budget went into this, you know. Like they had to think. If you think about it, they had to pay the actors, right? Got these alien guys. I'm sure there's only like, probably like 2 or 3. Well, no, they had them all marching. So you got all the alien guys, and you got the townspeople, which probably some of the townspeople might have been some of these alien guys in costume. Why could I not kill that guy? That is so stupid. He like literally ran out. Shield, Robert, shield. You got like, you know, the military actors. You've got the sets, the explosions, the cars, the vehicles, all the stuff. I mean, it all costs money. You know, somebody had to edit all this stuff. There was a camera guy. There was a lighting guy. Oh, I didn't even see him over there. I didn't see him until it was too late, Sarge. And now I guess we're using the alien tech we found in that mine shaft. That's why they just explode. Which, if they explode, why can't I shoot some of the stuff in the foreground and just like get that car out the way? God, this music is making me throw up. I'm like sleeping tonight. What is that? What is that? I'm serious, I might throw up. It's too much. It's not worth it for the dinosaur squeal like this. That I'm calling it a squeal. 'Cause it's not a screech. It's not a squeal. It's a squeal. I was gonna say, I wonder what they look like without the costumes, but I guess we got a glimpse of them without their costumes in the second act, where they just look like little bug people. So I guess that's why they make this. See, that's so stupid. Okay. We'll move
Incoming
on to
transmission.
part
Priority
4.
Alpha.
Boom. Bam. Oh, not the dragon in. I mean, look at that. Like, they built all these sets, too. Somebody had, like, built these sets, I'm sure. And they blow it all up. So there's a lot of production that went into this game. It's pretty impressive. Then once this is done, you basically, I think you just have to blow up the ship, if I'm not mistaken. which should be coming up in just a moment. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll finish this clip here. And then we'll be back with the final and last piece for this retro edition of New Game Friday, with the conclusion to Ground Zero Texas. Make sure you guys comment down below. You know the drill. Hit me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about this game. Please feel free to share. Make sure you subscribe for all your future New Game Fridays. And remember, guys, this is not goodbye. Simply to be continued. Until next time, don't spend that quarter anywhere else. Be right back.